It's the Digital Board Gamer here with our top hot and not for May 2025. So if you're not familiar with this series, what I do is I go to games here, scroll down to popular now, hit view all, and then on the beginning every month I take screenshots and then we compare from month to month. First we look at the top 10. There's usually a little bit of movement, and this month we had a little bit of movement between Catan and Wingspan. They flipped places. So Catan used to be 4 and Wingspan used to be 3, and now they switched places. We also had a little bit of movement at the end of the list. Splendor went to 9. Castle Burgundies went from 11 to 10. And Harmonies actually fell out of the top 10. Some games new to the list. We had Easy Peasy at 40. Ratza with Star at 46. Then we had Point Salad at number 52. Now, Point Salad is very interesting because if you scroll down, it's new to the list. It's never been on the list, and it came out November 8th, 2022. Well, I did some digging, and it looks like 2 years ago they removed it off BGA because the publisher didn't have the rights or something to do with that kind of thing. And then just this month, it got put on the platform. So there was no full release for it. They just put it on, and now it's good to play. So if you didn't know, Point Salad is on BGA now and is currently the 52 most popular game this month. Then at number 70, Symbios. New game this month, so new to the list. Maracaibo also made the list at 77. I chuckled when I saw this one. This is obviously if you don't know, the Pirates of Maracaibo came out last month. In April it came out, so I think this might be because of that. People are like, maybe they're not so hot on the pirate one, so they wanted to play the original. So it made it to 77 this month. Then at 82, we had Leaders. And then finally at 97, one of my favorite games, Stone Spine Architects. There are the new games that made it to the list. Now, as normal, a lot of these will slowly fall off or quickly fall off. Speaking of falling off, I have a list of games here. Living Forest fell off the list, 93, 100, and then 110. We had Dead Cells, was on the list for 4 months, went from 14 to 57 to 99, and then fell off the list. Found that a little surprising. There was an expansion that came out April 1st. I thought maybe that would sneak it and keep it on the list, but it fell off. Takiono fell off the list. Welcome to the Moon fell off the list, but that one's still in beta, so that's not as big a surprise. Innovation's been on the list for 5 months. It finally fell off. Let's Go to Japan fell off the list. It's been on for 4, but it's been on a steady decline. Come On, a abstract strategy game, fell off the list. That was new last month. Odin fell off the list after being for 5 months. Papayo also fell off the list after 5 months. Great Western Trail El Paso sadly fell off the list after being new last month. And same thing with Toy Battle, another new game fell off the list. Then I like to look at last month's hot games. So I look at the top 5 and see where they're kind of at. We had Draft and Write Records last month at 74. It fell down a little bit more to 89, but it still hung on. The number 2, Zenith is a new game that's been on the list for 3 months. It gained quite a bit last month, but then lost a little bit. It went from 64 to 79. Barrage, a heavy Euro, has been on the list a couple months, then fell off, and then snuck back on at 81, and it stayed at 80. Wingspan last month gained a spot in April, and then quickly this month lost it again. So it's been on the list all 5 months. It's been top 4. Last month was 3, and now back to 4. And then lastly, Tapestry. Tapestry gained a bunch of spots, went from like the mid-60 to 48, and then went back to mid-60s. So not sure why the sudden increase of 20 spots, maybe a big tournament or something, and then fell back down. Now we take a look at the not hot games from last month. At number 1, we had the Guilds of the Merchant Explorers. It's been on the list for 4 months. Last month it fell from 22 to 50, fell a little bit more to 59 this month. King of Tokyo Duel last month went from 27 to 60, and it continued to fall to 93. Another duel game. This one went from 57 to 99 last month, and then actually fell off the list here. So I don't know, quite sure where it landed. And then same thing with number 5 from last month. It went from 72, and then it fell off the list, and then it's still off the list this month. So let's look at our last month's not hot games. Now we're going to look at our top hot games of May. So first we had Welcome To. It's been on the list for all 5 months. So just a gain of a little over 20%, but that allowed it to break the list in number 5. Number 4, we have Terra Mystica, another game that's been on the list for 5 months. Terra Mystica has always been around 50. We had 51, 42, 56, 53. Then it jumped down to 41. So it broke about 22%. So it allowed it to get to number 3. A game not showing any signs of stopping, White Castle. It's been on the list for 3 months. In as beta, which is not very common. Not a lot of games in the top 100 are in beta. But White Castle was 19, then 24 last month, and then beginning of this month was 18. It did come out April 29th, so that can influence quite a bit. So I don't know if it'll have the staying power to stay in the top 20, but we'll have to see. Then I mentioned this before, but Catan took its place back. It's always been 3. Last month it slipped to 4 and then went back into 3. But that's a 25% gain, just like White Castle of 25%. Then our biggest gain was Challengers. Challengers went from 38 to 27. It has been in spot 27 before. It was in February, it was 27, but then went to 40, then 38, and now back to 27. So it gained about 29%. Not sure at all why this one jumped up. If you know why, let me know down below. And then for our not hot games. Number 5, we have Azul Duels. Azul Duels has been 24, then 51, and now 78, for a total of 53% decrease. All of the not hot games are going to be newer games. 2 of them are 3 months old, and then 3 of them are just came out last month. Then we had Toy Battle. Toy Battle came in last month at 61 and then fell off the list this year, so I'm not quite sure percentage change. I gave it 110, so it fell about 80%, given my math. I thought maybe Toy Battle would stick around a little bit because it was so quick. I mean, it's just coming out in print. I've seen advertisements from Asmodee and Repos Games, but it didn't have the staying power on BGA to stay in the top 100. 2, we have Logic. Logic, a bunch of puzzle logic games that came out last month. Came in at strong at 41, but stayed on the list. It's at 90 right now, so it fell 120-ish%. I doubt this one will be on the list next month unless they add something to it. They were fun, but I just don't see something that you come back and play a ton. And then our biggest faller was Pirates of Maracaibo, which is funny because, like I said before, the parent game, Maracaibo, actually made the list. So this came out last month. It made it all the way to 26. Now, it did come out at the very end of March, so that always skews it a bit. You know, really new, really hot game. So it ended up at number 26 beginning of April, but it fell all the way to 83 this month. So it still made the list, but it fell 220%. It'll be interesting next month to see if both games fall off the list or maybe if one of the 2 will hang on. Well, that's it for our hot and not games of May 2025. As you can see here, I contributed to both White Castle and Stone Spire Architects, helping pushing them up. Let me know in the comment below what games you help push up to the hot list. As always, I've been the Digital Board Gamer. Good luck and have fun.